So pick your poison. Beast Mode Performance, a fragrance that's going to help you stand out in a crowd no matter where you are. A fragrance house with an award-winning pedigree. Take your pick. You want to find out more? Stick with me on the other side of the break. You know what to do. Let's go.
Scott Aromatico knows his stuff. Fragrances he loves enough. Every scent, the story told. Unique perfumes, brave and bold. He talks about the notes he finds.
Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. My name is Scott Aromatico. Thank you for joining me for yet another fragrance review. I hope wherever you are, this video finds you well. But before we start the review, I want to do a little bit of housekeeping. And for those of you who like me to get straight to the point, I get you, I feel you. All you got to do is hit the fast forward button and you can get right to the review. But just for a little minute, if you would bear with me, first of all, I want to apologize. I haven't made a video in quite some time. Just recently had a historic storm here in South Carolina. As you know, a hurricane hit off the coast of Florida and made its way up to South Carolina, North Carolina, and parts of Tennessee. And it has been devastation all over the place. Now, usually here in upstate South Carolina, we're protected by storms because the mountains surround us, but not the case this time. In fact, we were really hit hard, and it affected a lot of people, including myself. I was without power for almost a week. There were trees and devastation all around, but we finally got all that cleaned up and power has been restored. So I am able to continue doing videos now. So bear with me. I really appreciate you guys being patient, but there's still a lot of havoc and devastation in parts of North Carolina and Tennessee. And I know a lot of you guys are generous and like to help out. So if you would, from the bottom of my heart, please feel free to help those people out who are still struggling. And all you got to do is check out the link down below. And I'll put a couple links of some places that I know are on the up and up, and that this money and your donations will get to those people if you feel like donating to help all those who are still without food and water and power, you know, still trying to find their loved one, their pets, and get on their feet. So if you'd like to donate, please look down below and I'll leave a couple links. Or if you've got your own places that you'd like to donate, feel free to do so. And before I start the review, now that we've got that out of the way, guys, if you like my channel, please hit the subscribe button down below and become a part of my fragrance family. It would really mean the world to me. And if you got any value from this video whatsoever, please leave a thumbs up because it helps it get out to more people on the algorithm. And just leave a comment. I'd love to hear from you guys. I'd love to know who's watching my video. So without any further ado, let's talk about the brand new 2024 release from one of my favorite fragrance houses. That, of course, is Zoologist Perfumes. And they have released a brand new fragrance called King Cobra, and I am here for it. So let's go ahead and dive in. So as I always preach, sample, 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 and that's what I do with Zoologists because they can be a little bit challenging for some people, and I get it. And a lot of their fragrances can be a little tough. I would say they're for a more mature audience, for people who are collectors, who are fragrance aficionados and have a nose for fine fragrances. So this is the sample I got. Sample, sample, sample before you always buy. And these samples will run you around $8 plus shipping. All the presentations, the one thing about Zoologists is you're going to get a full presentation. Not a lot of fragrance houses do that. You've got your notes here. You've got your little story that this invokes. But for those of you who would like to see what a full presentation looks like, let me put that on the screen right now so you can kind of see what you're getting. And then right back there, guys, are some of my Zoologist fragrances. And this right here, guys, is the old bottle. They are now going to a new bottle. They're going to be more rounder, and I think that's kind of cool that they're changing the presentation, although I did like these iconic bottles. And I think you can still pick up King Cobra in this bottle, but they are very soon going to switch to the round bottles. That's coming soon. And if you want to see what those look like, I think I have a picture somewhere. Let me show you real quick what they're going to look like. Okay, so there you have it through the magic of editing. You got to see the full presentation of King Cobra, and you got to see what some of the newer bottles are going to look like. So without any further ado, let's go ahead and spray this fragrance on and talk a little bit about it. Now, real quick, for those of you who want a full presentation bottle, I think they're going to run you somewhere around $175 on the website, and they sell them on Stockist all over the world. All you got to do is type them in, and I think King Cobra is going to be available around the end of this month. So right around Halloween, it should be available. At least that's what they've said. Who knows? It could be a little bit later, a little bit more early. Either way, they're going to be available at the end of October. This fragrance is also inspired by the ancient Indian forest. and a license to rule. And let me tell you, this fragrance does have fangs. It really does have fangs. And if you want to feel like a king, this is the fragrance for you. This fragrance is definitely different. It's unlike anything I've gotten my nose on. As soon as you spray this thing, you're going to get a ton of earthiness. It is a very, very earthy fragrance. And also, that earthiness comes across a bit damp to me. It's a very, very, very green fragrance, which makes sense because a snake spends its time winding through the forest, and the forest and the jungle can be very green. It is a very, very green fragrance. This fragrance is not for the faint of heart. It's camphorous, meaning that it's cool, a little bit pungent, also green. You're definitely going to get that camphor in this fragrance. It's smoky, it's a bit herbaceous, and very, very aromatic. So this fragrance is a little bit tough. I kind of like it. There's something about it that is very addictive. There's something about it that, I don't know, that's just pulling me in. It is a bit challenging. It does have some depth, but let's go ahead and check the notes. All right, in the top, we have petitgrain, mandarin, fig leaf, camphor, pomelo, and a ganja accord. In the heart, we have black tea, cumin, leather, a soil accord, and then in the base, we have incense, amber, moss, patchouli, and vetiver. All right, guys, this fragrance is definitely unlike anything I have in my collection. And the one thing that popped into my head is around the beaches here in South Carolina, we have a lot of stores that you can go into, and they kind of have like this hippie vibe, like t-shirts and incense, and it really just kind of reminds me of a hippie store that you would find at the beach. It's got that incense, it's got that ganja accord, it's got the patchouli. So when I first smelled this, I was like, it reminds me of those stores that you walk in where you kind of smell the weed, and you might smell some weed on some people, and you smell the incense, and you smell the patchouli. I really love the vibe of this. It really has kind of a hippie vibe to me. But there's a lot of green. There's a little bit of earthiness. It's a little bit pungent. I like it. The camphor is a little bit strong. It comes across as cool. It comes across as green, and it's definitely the star of the show as soon as you spray it. The greenness is coming from lots of facets. It's coming from the petitgrain. It's coming from the fig leaf. And then it's coming from that ganja cord, which I just pick up right away. It is a very, very strong note. And for those of you who don't like that note, you're not going to like this fragrance. I happen to like it. I happen to think it just gives me good vibes. It's a really, really neat fragrance, to be honest. In the heart, the soil accord is extremely realistic. It is photorealistic. It is done perfectly. It's damp, it's moist, and you definitely pick up that earthiness. And I remember the first time smelling bat, and it smelled like a damp cave, and I was just blown away by how much it smelled like a damp cave. And this definitely has that earthy, wet, dirty jungle vibe that you would pick up if you were trekking through a jungle, which I've never done, but I imagine this is what it would smell like. Really, really good. There's a little bit of aromatic feel, and I think that might be coming from the cumin, kind of giving off like this dirty, musky, earthy vibe as well. The leather is really, really strong in this one. And when I think of this leather, for some reason, I guess just because of the name, I'm thinking of the skin of a snake. That's just what it's kind of reminding me of. I know my mind's, going to that because this is King Cobra, but that leather feel kind of just invokes that to me. Guys, in the base, there's heavy incense, lots of amber, mossy. Again, think of the forest, think of the jungle. And then the patchouli, the vetiver, giving it this nice greenness. And there's something very, very musky in this as well. I really like it. I definitely do think it has this hippie 60s vibe that's really, really nice. And this is a very, very powerful fragrance. You don't need a lot of sprays. And this is definitely going to be a beast mode fragrance. It's got a nice scent bubble, a little bit more than an arm's length, and you're gonna get 8+ hours on your skin easily. Now, I don't find this a very unisex fragrance. I know a lot of fine fragrance houses, a lot of indie niche fragrance houses consider their fragrances to be unisex. This seems like a very masculine, powerful fragrance. Not to say women couldn't wear it, but with the leather, the incense, how smoky it is, how warm it is, I don't know, it just really punches you in the face. To me, it seems very masculine leaning, but that's just a guide. And I'm not saying a woman couldn't wear this, but it is a very powerful musky, masculine, smoky, earthy, pungent fragrance, okay? It's a little bit on the challenging side for sure. This is definitely for collectors of fine fragrance. This is very original. I've never smelled anything like this in my collection. Of course, I don't have a lot of fragrances with a ganja note, but there's just something about this that is so addicting. Again, great performance, very, very good. And I'm not sure what occasion this would fit. I feel like this is more of a fall winter fragrance because of how strong it is, how smoky, the incense, the earthiness, the leather, all of that stuff, guys. The ganja accord, the green here. I really feel like this would be a great fall winter fragrance. And I feel like you could probably wear this whatever occasion you want to. I'm not sure how many compliments you're gonna get from this. I just don't know that. But a lot of you I know wear fragrances just for yourself. So I think you can probably wear this on whatever occasion you want to. If it's just for you, wear it whenever you want. Out of 10, I'm gonna give this an 8.5. All right, guys, there you have it. Those are my thoughts on the brand new Zoologist King Cobra. I really like this fragrance. At first, I was afraid I wouldn't like it because it's a very powerful, strong fragrance. But Zoologist can be a little bit challenging, but this one I really, really like. I think it's an awesome fragrance. And for those of you who are collectors, aficionados, you know, a little bit more on the mature side, you're really gonna like this one. If you're just stopping by and you're curious, you may not like this one. So again, always sample, sample, sample. It's the best way to go to do Zoologist, to sample. You can buy them individually, which I absolutely think is a positive about this company, instead of buying, you know, stuck with a whole starter pack or discovery pack, which is hard when these fragrances are already expensive. So guys, this is a good fragrance. I give it a thumbs up, 8.5 out of 10. Definitely try it out on your own. Don't take my word for it. So definitely sample it, guys. So if you like this video, again, please leave a thumbs up. It'll help it get out to more people. And if you'd love to be a part of our fragrance family, I'd love to have you. Just hit that subscribe button, guys. And thank you so much for your time. I really appreciate it. And I look forward to seeing you in the next video. This is Scott Aromatico, out.